Alright, guys, so we're going to be going ahead and talk about Daredevil Born Again Season 2. I just got done watching the first episode of the season. I was I was kind of excited, but at the same time, I was like, okay, how are they going to do this season? So, unknowingly, picking up somewhere between where the first season ended into this season, the Vigilante trial and the actions with the AVTF that Wilson Fisk has come up with is beyond out of control. And we see in the beginning, not even like 5 minutes in, we see Daredevil, aka Matt Murdock, in the black suit, and that looked awesome. I will say that to finally see that in action. He just rips apart these guys on this carrier for this boat, and comes to find out that they are, transporting weapons, and the weapons get submerged in the water, and he puts a watch in there, and I think that they're going to try to use that as if he finds them first, and then he goes, and him and Karen are pretty much working together. They are together at this point, and they're trying to figure out ways to take down Fisk because of, they want to expose him. And during this time, Fisk is getting frustrated because he wants to find Daredevil, and then he's getting everyone to go after him. And during this time, we meet a new character who is by the name of Charles, who's played by Matthew Leonard. Now, again, I think he did a good job. I really do. I think he did a magnificent job at this, because seeing him play this character was beyond intense. Because he's kind of a wacky guy, but he's also a smart ass, and he's also very charismatic, and he's also seems dangerous. And it looks like he's either working for the government or for someone that they're even more, I would say, dirty than Fisk, because he has a meeting with Fisk and his wife, and he basically tells them that I can get a team together, get everyone together, gather whoever you want, and then my team can take them out. And Fisk is like, almost appalled by it, because he's like, well, good men are hard to find. And he just kind of looks at him like, okay, well, what's the difference? You can always hire more bodies. It's just that, how do I say it? Like, I feel like he's kind of mixing a little bit of Scream with Five Nights at Freddy's, with the way he's kind of doing this, which is really good. And I like the character so far. It's very interesting to see what he's doing. And then we see where the lawyer that Matt was getting with, or the therapist, I should say, she's having massive PTSD with her events from the last season of, the one that Matt fought. And what we see is she's getting not really threats, but from the other DA, of making sure that the other vigilante knows as a swordsman that he stays locked up or whatever. And one thing I will say that kind of bugged me through this is that they didn't bring up Frank once. They didn't bring up Frank Castle not one time. It was like, okay, do you not know where he is, or he's already escaped, or you've already helped him? Like, what's going on? Hopefully they address it at some point, because a lot of people, including myself, are like, what the hell? Like, what's going to happen to Frank? Because again, we see him in the trailer for the new Spider-Man movie, and hopefully they connect this season to the Spider-Man movie to kind of help out a little bit. Because again, if you're going to build on not only the movies and the series, but you need to connect all the dots. That's just my personal opinion. But the one thing that was interesting was Matt gets help from his friend that's a cop that works with his office, and he gets into trouble, and the task force comes in, beats them all to hell. Matt comes in, he starts wrecking them nonstop. And what's cool is that he sees where his friend's injured. Like, he's about ready to have a heart attack, and he's like worried because again he gets flashbacks to what happened to Foggy, right? And as soon as that happens, he gets knocked out by the task force, and they actually pull the mask off, and they're like, oh my god, like, what the hell, it's Matt Murdock, and they're about ready to kill him, and then as soon as that happens, he gets saved by Bullseye, which is crazy, because a lot of people are like, even I forgot, because I know Bullseye was alive and he was in like maximum security prison, but if I remember correctly, I think he escaped somehow. If I remember correctly, he escaped. And again, is he going to be, like with Matt, the whole the enemy and my enemy is my friend type deal, meaning Fisk, where Daredevil's not going to have a choice but to work with Bullseye, even though with what he did to Foggy. So that's going to be something. Or we're going to see Frank. I know Jessica Jones is going to be showing up at some point. A lot of people are speculating, will we see Elektra again at some point? If they're going to rewrite some stuff for Marvel's, Marvel's Defenders, stuff like that. I don't know yet. This season, again, I really do wish they would have got rid of that one character, the one that's like the deputy governor or whatever, mayor. The one dude that thinks he's just all that and he's kissing Wilson's ass. It's like, bro, get rid of this character. He's annoying. And the girl he keeps trying to get with, the one BB who was the niece of the White Panther or whatever, the White Tiger. I'm not a fan of showing like where she's recording, because again, I think that's beyond, a waste of footage for the show. Because again, it's like, dude, I don't care about what the citizens are saying in New York. I don't give a damn. I really don't. I just want to see about characters that we actually care about. And of course, they're going to focus on that character. They're going to focus on the therapist, because again, her relationship with Matt, again, it doesn't really say how long that, from the end of first season to this season, how long it's been, which again, they're not going to probably, or they may kind of connect the dots because again, it looks like Matt and Karen have been together now for maybe a month, maybe less than that, because again, they were getting very friendly. So, and he's been training her and he's been teaching her other ways that he knows, so that way she knows how to defend herself. They're looking for her as well. She's having to wear wigs. They're having to be really on the down low because Matt can't even afford himself to go out in public as Matt Murdock right now. He's literally just Daredevil right now if he goes out. And if he does go as Matt Murdock, he has to go low key, like when he met his friend that's the cop, or when he went to a Greek restaurant trying to get the information of the captain and the first mate of the ship that went down. And when the task force got a hold of the captain, they beat the hell out of him. They killed him because, again, trying to keep him quiet. So it's going to be a very interesting season. I think that is going to be, a lot of familiar faces may show up and some new faces as well. And hopefully we get some answers and hopefully it connects to the Spider-Man movie. So overall, guys, what do you think about this down in the comments? Let me know. And hopefully you enjoyed the first episode and hopefully this season turns out to be a good one. Let me know what you think. And I'll see you as always on the next one.